Aló, 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 aló. Sí. ¿Qué tal, amigos? ¿Cómo están? Ya estamos por comenzar en un momento. De hecho, el stream de Gamescom todavía no comienza, sigue en un contador. Así que tenemos tiempo. ¿Eh? Ok. ¿Cómo están, amigos? Sean todos ustedes bienvenidos a este stream. Estamos a unos minutos, exactamente 18 minutos de que comience el stream de Gamescom. Así que, según yo programé el stream para verlo en cuanto empezara, pero se aventaron la clasiquiña de aventar un contador. Desgraciados. Sexo en el Oxxo. ¿Qué onda, Rashi? Bienvenido. Ando hablando un poquito bajito porque mi hermano está exponiendo en su universidad. Le tocó clases virtuales, entonces nomás en lo que termina. Desde el fondo de mi alma y desde el fondo de mis vísceras. Aquí tengo el video. A ver, ¿dónde está? Ah, no lo encuentro. No, no mames. Tu hermano de... La psicología es la rama que tú Silsong traes a la vez. Es cierto, podemos ver hoy el DLC de Silsong. No me acordaba de ese detalle. ¿Dónde está el video? Ah, no vieron que lo borré. Aquí está.
もう、いずくだけで再生数1万は増やしてるわね。お母さん怖くて見れんわ。
Hecho para condenar de nuevo, desde el fondo de mi alma y de mis vísceras, al Estado de Israel.
Epa. Yo ando cortando un beauty. Bueno, dos. Epa. ¿De lo que streamaste ayer o qué? Hoy sí desayunamos. Hoy no me voy a estar cagando de hambre a medio stream. Nada de otros que sí completé de gameplay por 2 horas. Órale. Los que no completo solo será short. Ah, ya. Yo los que no completo o los que le hago nada más como que... Bueno, más bien los que no completo o los que ya completé y nada más quiero hacerles algún gameplay, son los que les subo video. Ya los que sí quiero jugar completos y hacerles contenido, pues son los que streameo. ¿Cuánto irá a durar el stream de estos güeyes? Si el stream de estos güeyes dura como 1 hora, yo creo que nos podemos quedar a jugar algo. Digo, para aprovechar el tiempo, ¿no? Ya estamos aquí. Toma 2, dura 3 horas, güey. Qué bueno porque, pues, ZZZ. Yo mi pedo es que pues tengo más juegos que tiempo, entonces primero quiero hacer el filtro. Ajá. Y luego si veo que alguno me gustó y le fue chido, pues le sigo. Pues yo igual lo mío con Game Backlog es estar vaciando pues, el backlog. Pero a mí sí me vale verga. Yo sí digo, quiero jugar o con ya me hice pendejo mucho tiempo. O a veces trato de sacar juegos si tienen cerca fecha de lanzamiento, como que hoy hace 15 años salió este juego, entonces lo voy a hacer gameplay. Y es lo que trato de hacer. Como Gloria Trevi. Seguramente dure 2 horas con alguno que otro segmento donde entrevisten a algún dev que ni habla inglés decente. Y siempre pasa cuando entrevistan devs indies, algún francés. Un güey francés, un güey... es que no quiero hablar de los de Medio Oriente. Pero ellos. El típico pelón que no sabe poner su webcam también. Pues que es gente que se dedica a hacer juegos, güey. Lo único que les preocupa es eso. Bueno, me puse gorra. Aunque creo que debería, me va a estar estorbando el pelo. Pero si déjenme pongo una. Porque... me puse esta. Porque yo también soy desarrollador, güey. Yo también le sé las compus. A ver, 7 minutos. A ver, ya estuvo, ya estuvo. Música de 8 bits.mp3. Justo. Por lo menos está chida. Tres minutos. Sí, sí cambió. Si le saben, si tienen la playlist. De hecho, yo tengo ahí, descargué unos álbumes de música así muy parecida. Y esa la tengo pensada usar para cuando por fin me atreva a revivir el Topocast. Nada más que necesito terminar de estructurarlo bien. Tengo que trabajar bien la escaleta de eso para que no se sienta nada más hecho a lo pendejo. Ajá, otra rola. Es lo mismo de hace rato, es cierto, como que le dio la vuelta, ¿no? Tienen dos nomás. Pero es suficiente dinamismo. Oh. Está muy fuerte, oiga.
Every year, hundreds of independent game developers flock to Gamescom to get their games into the hands of players. Welcome to the Gamescom Awesome Indie Show 2026. Coming up, we're highlighting some of the coolest, weirdest, most impressive, most ingenious independent games from this year's Gamescom.
Hay un gato.
You can expect exclusive trailers and gameplay reveals, in-depth game previews, and interviews with the people bringing these games to life.
I made a game about just walking around in this environment.
So don't go anywhere. The Gamescom Awesome Indie Show 2026 starts right now.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Gamescom Awesome Indie Show. I'm Damon Hatfield, coming to you from IGN's Los Angeles studio. Gamescom is a celebration of gaming worldwide, and every year, hundreds of studios from nearly 70 countries around the world make their way to Cologne, Germany, to share their work with you. And the Gamescom Awesome Indie Show is a chance to showcase some of the coolest new projects from independent developers. You might know some of them, others might be brand new, but they're all doing incredible work. But like I said, Gamescom is an international affair, and the Gamescom Awesome Indie Show wouldn't be possible without all of IGN's teams around the globe working together. It's time to check in with my esteemed colleague across the pond, Jane Douglas.
Thanks, Damon. I'm here in IGN's brand new London studio. Coming up, we'll be showing you a ton of trailers and dropping some exclusive release date reveals. But we'll also bring you some hands-on previews and talk to some devs about how these games came to life. In just a moment, we'll hit the Gamescom show floor to see some indies out in the wild. But first, there are millions of games out there to keep track of, and here at IGN, we pride ourselves on helping you find what to play next. Scan the QR code on screen and you'll be able to easily wishlist any games shown during the Gamescom Awesome Indies show or elsewhere in our Gamescom coverage. Now, let's hand things over to our field team.
Thanks, Jane. You're watching the Gamescom Awesome Indie Show.
We're here on the Gamescom show floor, and it's massive and full of incredible video games to play.
That's right, and in just a bit, we'll get to play some awesome indie games, but first, it's time for some trailers. These next games take a classic idea and add a whole new spin to them.
Let's take a look at our first batch of games right here on the Gamescom Awesome Indies Show.
Una nave. Un planeta. Órale. Tesla. Neon Hyperdrive. Mira, ya tiene demo. Chingos de tope. Ha de ser pinche Puebla. Ya me morí. Uy, qué bonito se ve esto, ¿eh? Chronoscript. Se ve bien bonito. Demo, ok.
Okay, little by little.
Ah, caray.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm so scared.
Lástima que es Metroidvania. Pues sí parece, quién sabe. Al rato va a ver. Lo va a calar.
You have 25 deaths. No!
26.
Oh my gosh! No! Why did you tell me before? Okay, there's a bomb. Do not stop the car.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
As our lobby secretary, you play a crucial role, and I realize this may be challenging because you are a
Goofy streamer a game. Sí, güey.
While your office work has been exemplary, it has come to our attention that you have been doing tasks outside your purview. Ha ha ha.
Gato Godín.
This is no laughing matter. Among your offenses, you have been misusing company resources, destroying Doc's property, violating our non-compete clause, seducing our middle management, and sleeping on the job. Your personal improvement plan is to be a good corporate asset with a silly little face and tiny toe beans. Remember, the executives are always watching. Because they care about your performance. Thank you for listening. Your constant commitment to improvement will someday make you adequate. Wonderful! Now go be the best cat secretary you can be.
Y tiene de todo este juego, güey. También tiene demo. Vertical Reflex.
Meet Pawn, a Tanuki with a good heart and a talent for doing things later. The Matsuri Festival is right around the corner. Let's just say it has seen better centuries. So Pawn gets to work. A letter here, a package there, and a totally necessary backflip to top it off. Friends to make, games to play, activities to do,
Se ve chido este, güey.
stories to share.
El topo 2 días seguidos en stream. Ah, caray. 3. 3 días en stream.
And our Pawn, he's ready to make
Es un juego de chopper. Capa.
all it takes. One long summer to fix what matters most.
Se ve perro, güey.
Tanuki, Pawn Summer. Wishlist now.
Mapache tu abuela.
Solving a murder, navigating complex, intersecting political philosophies, and making morally great decisions sounds
Que no superas el ira, güey, tu primo.
But something tells me it's even harder when you're under lockdown in an apartment building on the eve of a world war. If you're a fan of Disco Elysium, keep an eye on this one.
Topo Tanuki.
Glasshouse.
If on
Antojo de un stream del Topo.
finding 3 corpses,
La puedo gritar ahorita, güey.
what would you do?
Si no, si te sigo la cura.
You call the vassals. Nah, there's a war outside. They'd arrest you out of caution. You solve the
Ah,
mystery.
caray.
Good. You won't be alone. Your party are your flatmates. Though, can you trust them? No. Maybe you should run away. But how can you? The fiefdom of London stock is in lockdown. So, let me ask you again, comrade. If, on a morning shift, you find yourself trapped in a crime scene, what would you do?
Un pinche juego para güeyes que fuman en interiores. A la verga. Y que tragan de la verga. Glasshouse. Ah, mira, va a tener un hands-on preview. Okay.
Haunting the fiefdom of London stock.
Trapped both in his lockdown apartment building and the dystopian society of London stock, Wildemar is having an extremely bad day. Stepping into his shoes in atmospheric isometric RPG Glasshouse means dealing with the demands of the strange and abrasive residents, wrestling with a web of competing ideologies, and investigating a triple murder, all with a blinding hangover. Between its political musings, bleakly funny setting, and human train wreck of a protagonist, comparisons with Disco Elysium are unavoidable. Glasshouse wears its inspiration firmly on its sleeve, but it's shaping up to be much more than just a clone. One standout is its turn-based combat. When things turn ugly, you're free to turn to fists or any weapons discovered during the investigation, rolling dice to inflict damage on the opponent's health. But words can also be just as impactful as violence. While the enemy keeps swinging punches, Wildemar can deploy different styles of negotiation instead, ranging from aggressive to persuasive to subversive and more, to damage their
Ese güey te lo puedes putear
gradually calming them
o le
down.
puedes tirar mierda.
Their resistances and weaknesses to particular kinds of argument will be revealed. But you can't just keep hammering away with the same approach once you discover a crack in the armor.
Le puedes meter un madrazo y le puedes decir, me pelas la verga.
Total before it's exhausted.
Pegas como pinche vieja.
Different lines of attack to wear the target down. The strength of those different styles is determined by Wildemar's political outlook. Instead of upgrading traditional RPG stats with skill points, you invest points of view into ideologies, each inspired by real-world politics but reimagined to fit this strange world. Invest in the collectivist philosophy of holisticism, and the power of sensible arguments increases, while committing to capitalistic confucianism as the path to becoming more persuasive. Over the course of the game, more points of view are earned by musing on different political dilemmas thrown out by the world of London stock. Is the lockdown justified, for example, or an infringement on personal freedoms? Whatever your answer, you get to invest further in your chosen ideologies. Each particular combination even confers its own unique title, like the philosophical equivalent of a D&D class. Want to be a warmongering sophist? Well, better commit yourself to mixing colonialism and holisticism, the perfect build for somehow being the most reasonable guy in the room while also furiously berating anyone who disagrees with you. Of course, these decisions also affect what dialogue and choices are available while exploring the building,
¿Cuánto irá a durar el hands-on de este juego?
and reacting to the director and the choir, the two voices in Wildemar's head that narrate and offer running commentary. Each ideology opens up its own possible courses of action
Dura medio
based on
show.
how many points are invested in it, and every NPC has their own political compass too, determining how they react in dialogue and what weaknesses and strengths they have in a verbal sparring match. It's not just a load of empty debate, though. Even outside of the thorny issue of the unsolved murders, there are all sorts of moral choices to be made. As deputy head of the condominium, one of Wildmer's first responsibilities in the game is to hand out the week's meager rations. Who gets a share and how much,
Hoy
however,
también es lo del el tráiler de Grand Theft Auto,
fairly distributed in exchange for bribes,
pero ese no lo vamos a ver
according to apparent need, and you'd better believe
porque
that those
pues
that go hungry will remember it.
está en Netflix
With resources so
y
scarce,
no podemos
building
streamear
the
eso.
game's surprisingly extensive crafting system is another key feature.
Mínimo este güey habla inglés decente. Sí, 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 por lo menos.
Can be combined to make equipment like bandages,
No es 100% indie.
joints. These can be useful in combat, open up dialogue,
Igual y contrataron a alguien que es de comunicaciones o algo y sabe hablar.
unlock whole new areas to snoop around in for clues. Altogether, these systems point to an experience that, behind all the very Disco Elysium style dark humor and surreal world building, is going to be something a bit more mechanically varied than its obvious inspiration. It looks a touch closer to the feel of a traditional CRPG, only with fewer fireballs and more authoritarianism. It's an interesting twist on the formula and certainly makes it clear that Glasshouse is more than just an imitator. Now we just need to figure out which of the ideologies best justifies unlocking every door in the building and stealing everything that isn't nailed down.
This is your last day, Wield. And I am sorry for that.
Casa de Cristal.
It's time for more from the Gamescom Awesome Indies shows. And wouldn't it
Hey, ¿dónde están todos los sonidos que podía poner con mis topocoins?
even about a cannon that thinks it's a sparrow?
Hombre, esos ya no existen desde como 2 años, güey.
Find out more about a game called Cannons and Sparrows right here at Gamescom Awesome Indies show. Follow me.
Ah, es que perdí el bot con el que tenía los sonidos, por eso ya no están. O sea, aunque los activaran el Twitch, no hay con qué reproducirlos.
Cannons and Sparrows is a Metroidvania action adventure with a little cannon which hatches from an egg and thinks it's a bird. He cannot shoot at the very beginning, so he tries to find its own ways to solve problems.
Además que ni tengo los audios, creo que también los perdí.
Which means to crack a nut with a sledgehammer, so to put too much effort in something. When I
Empeñaron a su gato para
I
pagarlo.
used to work like 20
Probablemente.
years in the advertising industry, and this phrase was something I had in my mind when it comes to human resources and night shifts and so on. And so we started.
Me estresa que el logo se parezca tanto al de Origin.
Which we started,
Oye, es cierto. Ardo por dentro cuando ves el logo.
After a while, we came up with the idea to make a game out
What the
of
fuck is that?
some visuals.
No sé, parece como un zapato, ¿no?
Which is a little bit more for me.
O es una
a little bit
piedra.
more directly for the audience, and making your own product is something quite new to us. And yeah, this is the main reason.
Ah, es como un cañón.
This game reflects what we experience. So this is why you play this little cannon in the world.
Sí, es un cañón.
Lost, and you always think, okay. Now I
About
need to
Cannons
shoot
and
something.
Sparrows se
You're
llama el
always
juego.
trying to go the
Es un cañón paloma.
but the game is kind of stopping you. And when we started, we thought, okay, what is
Es un cañón peruano.
the easiest way for us to make a game? And we thought about a platformer. And after we showed our first concept, the people who saw that told us, okay, this have to be a Metroidvania. It's not the easiest way to make your first steps into the gaming development. I created all those characters by sculpting them in VR. I really had a burnout these days. And I tried to find something which brings me back. And VR sculpting was completely different. It was
A
like
la verga este
putting
güey.
up your headsets, being in a different world. And
No
just
mames, qué
turning
hipster, güey.
everything
O sea, tienen idea
And this
lo pendejo y tardado que es modelar 3D esculpiendo. Y este hijo de la verga esculpe modelo en 3D en pinche VR, güey. Pinche vato hipsterazo, güey.
But I never was able to. And so the Unreal Engine and the modern, the modern.
No mames, güey. O sea, si
And maybe for others.
Si yo me siento pendejo, güey, haciendo modelo 3D, después de ver a este güey, me siento ya un inútil, güey. No merezco haber nacido, güey. Este güey se pasa de verga.
I'm here with Nico from About Cannons and Sparrows, and I really want
No
to play the
mames, güey.
game. Can I, Nico?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes, let's go. Let's see what it's all about. So I got to play a bit of the demo, and to be honest, that is very, very fun. Like usually, like jumping and all that.
Sí, ese viejo aprendiendo todo esto y apenas sacó su primer juego por eso.
This one looks so
Sí, sí lo creo.
I think the cannon is very smooth to handle. It felt very natural, and also the game.
Pero güey, nunca había visto a nadie que hiciera modelado 3D utilizando VR. No mames, bro. Es demasiado hipsteres,
Are
güey.
you enjoying the game so far? What's your first impression?
Yes, it looks really cool. I mean, the idea is quite funny because I'm a flying cannon and I'm not yet able to shoot, I think, but I'm flying. I like it, yeah.
That was a lot of fun, and to recognize that and your amazing achievement in this game, we have something for you.
Este vato merece respeto, güey. O sea, eso que mostró de cómo esculpe sus modelos está muy cabrón, güey. Yo siento que merece la pena calar su juego. No más por eso, güey. O sea, respect. Ojalá recupere lo mínimo para seguir trabajando su técnica. Sí. ¿Viste el nuevo juego de Warhammer que es literal un Doom? No. Creo que no. Porque pues el juego sí en premisa está. Mismos gráficos y modo de juego de los Dooms OGs.
Through satisfying progression, whether that's finding new items in a Metroidvania, unlocking new upgrades in a roguelike, or even just earning some XP and assigning some skill points. The next bunch of awesome indies.
¿No estás hablando del juego que van a sacar de Quake? Ahí te lo mando por TikTok. Ok. Sí, porque no topo, Perdón. La premisa de un cañón con patas en un mundo de pájaros. Ah, sí, o sea, sí está raro. Pero al mismo tiempo es muy original. O sea, el juego sí es interesante. Intriga porque como chingados eres un cañón. Un pinball. No mames, un veracruzano del futuro. Appulse. Ok. SacriFire. Leche pixelada. El estudio se llama Leche pixelada. Pixelated Milk. Un fan de Chrono Trigger ve esto y se viene encima. Pues ni tanto, porque déjame decirte que este juego es el claro ejemplo de los indies. Ay, perdón. Es el claro ejemplo de ese tipo de juegos indies que nada más hacen pixel art por hacerlo. y que no tienen como no trabajan sobre el grid, sino que nada más lo hacen en pixel y ya. Pero no hay una guía de píxeles.
Long ago, there was balance.
Y el fan de Chrono Trigger es muy purista en eso.
Hunger has crept across the kingdoms. The roads are no longer safe. And in the darkness beneath the roots, a curse is spreading. Kit, a lowly snail. You were not born mighty. You were not made.
O sea, el público es ese, pero ya también hay muchos. Sí.
But sometimes, the smallest of us must carry the heaviest burdens. Trust your friends. String your bow. Take up your blade.
¿Qué pedo?
There is strength beneath the smallest shell. There is courage in the softest heart.
Hola, verga. What?
Face what waits below and restore what has been lost.
Caracoles. Ándales, parece el Death's Door. Güey, le hizo... Le tronó el cuello y otro güey le hizo un suplex, güey. INKBLOOD. A la verga, un suplex, sí, güey. Esa madre en Switch, lo necesito. Se ve chido, se ve chido el del caracol. Oh, no. ¿Qué pedo de ritual satánico? No mames. Oh shit. Otro papers, please. Pero peruano. INKBLOOD. The Critical Reflex y Hyper.
Up next on the Gamescom Awesome Indies show, a first-person horror roguelike about descending into hell, and you'll only survive the horrors that await if you play your cards just right. No, I mean literally, because it's also a tarot-based deck builder. Have a look.
The path is dark. The infernal pilgrimage. Do not fail us.
Another pilgrim, so fragile. A little firefly that plays with such passion. Your loss I'll savor over and over.
Build your deck. Strengthen the souls of your cards and sacrifice others for your freedom.
No chains, but pilgrims bound must play or be consumed by something bigger than us.
¿Qué pedo, güey? Se ve chido, ¿por qué le metes cartas? No mames.
In this roguelike deck builder, just making it to the card table is a tense scramble for survival. And then it's time to try and outplay a terrifying ghoul who absolutely loves making eye contact. Inferious is a unique combination of first-person horror and tabletop strategy set in a truly unsettling vision of hell itself. With only a lantern and a deck of cards for protection, descending through the layers of the underworld is a daunting task. In Inferious, hell isn't an inferno, it's a cold, deathly place filled with cavernous structures through which gaunt creatures creep. Though the game's 9 levels are inspired by Dante's Divine Comedy, there's more than a little Lovecraft in here too, in the impossible architecture, eldritch symbols, and the slowly draining sanity meter that serves as your health. It's a world as visually arresting as it is disturbing. The souls that haunt these foreboding halls seem lost, like they've forgotten their purpose. Some lie catatonic on the cold floor or pray hopelessly, while others simply stare at you as you pass. But some of them,
sí lo había visto, que lo anunciaron hace rato, no me acordaba.
To relentlessly pursue a
Sí, se ve bien perro este juego.
After several
¿Cuándo fue que lo anunciaron este? Ya tiene
past
ratillo.
everything from gnarled hands reaching out of the walls to shelves of severed heads whose eyes follow you as you
Pero ya va a
pass.
salir.
Sudden pursuit is a shock to the system.
No mames,
Some monsters can be warded off with
es
the
el
lantern,
TikTok
but
de
its
Mick
supply of
Gordon,
light
güey.
is limited, burns faster when held out
¿Me estás diciendo que
defensively,
Mick Gordon hizo rolas para el juego?
horrors. A little stealth can be helpful, but
¿O es el
inevitably
compositor
turns
del
into
juego?
panic sprinting to the next safe room with echoing footsteps a
No
hair's
mames.
breadth behind every step of the way.
No mames, vete a la
Survive these
verga, güey.
encounters and the reward is to sit down opposite a creature much like the ones that were just trying to make a snack of you and play some cards. The deck is made up of 2 things, major arcana of the tarot such as the Fool,
Me interesa porque parece que Mick Gordon hizo la música. Sí, sí, es lo que estoy viendo porque la cuenta del video es de él.
minions to help keep them alive and battle the enemy. The Arcana are deployed across a trio of lanes.
Ay, güey, demasiado gimmick.
Once both players have taken a turn by playing 3 cards, they attack whatever is in front of them in order of their speed stat. If that's an enemy Arcana, they'll deal damage to it. If the lane ahead of them is empty, they'll attack the other player directly.
Luego sale en este juego la araña Mel.
But there's a real tension to these showdowns that echoes the horror of the exploration side of the game. Each card can only be played once, and if an Arcana dies, other cards have to be sacrificed to make that lane available again. So just throwing minions in the way of enemy attacks is a survival strategy that very quickly runs out of steam. At the same time, if an enemy Arcana is able to stay on the board for too long, greedily gobbling up buffs, it can become effectively unstoppable. Anything put in front of it will simply die before it has a chance to get strong enough to even fight back. Preventing that in all 3 lanes is tough, and more often than not, winning the match is its own kind of sprint for survival. If you can't slay an Arcana, you can only hope to outpace it, getting enough hits in across the other 2 lanes to defeat the enemy before they can take full advantage of their creation.
Se fue a mimir.
Is a creepy treasure chest that opens itself, wizened arms extending to offer a choice of new cards to add to the deck.
Te iba a decir, no podrás reaccionar al trailer, pero tal vez sí a los youtubers que invitaron y les dejaron subir gameplay. De todos modos, me tumbarían el video. O sea, si muestro gameplay, lo tumbarían.
The ultimate goal of Inferious
Lo que puedo hacer es ver yo el trailer y nada más mostrar mi cámara. O sea, no mostrar nada. O sea, podría subir mi reacción, pero sin footage.
That is, if you can survive the mutant babies, fleshy spider monsters, and much worse things that stand between you and the card table. Death isn't the end, at least. It's just a one-way ticket back to Limbo, where resources gained during the run can be spent to enhance and modify the cards ahead of the next expedition into the pit. What awaits at the bottom as a reward for all this hard work? Well, we shudder to think.
This is your infernal pilgrimage.
Inferious. Shueisha Games.
A new strategy game where 4X meets Colony Sim. Lead your people in a living world and conquer it
¿Ese qué hora es? Lo del GTA. Es como en un ratillo, ¿no?
Explore, build.
El Skyshock ayer dijo que se iba a levantar como a la 1 para verlo. Así que me imagino que aquí, pues ya debería estar.
Every citizen has a will of their own. Your decisions reshape the fate of the world. Will you choose diplomacy or conflict? No 2 empires are ever the same. Forge your destiny. Conquista, Tide of Wills.
You're rocking with the Gamescom Awesome Indie Show. As you can see, there's a giant robot here at Gamescom, which reminds me of our
Sí, a las 12 se libera el trailer.
twin stick shooter, 9 rounds rapid, set on a futuristic space station. But before we play it, we'll hear
En media
the
hora.
team creating it, right? Right. And speaking of connecting with passionate members of the gaming community, Gamescom.global is the digital content hub you won't want to miss. Players from all around the world get access to streams, trailers, and exclusive content from Gamescom and the games showcased on the show floor,
En 30
along
minutos.
with Gamescom's shows. It's amazing. And if you want to take up a fun quest yourself, check out Gamescom Epics, our interactive adventure where you can become part of Epi's journey. Through the Gamescom verse, across 7 chapters, new tasks, challenges, and loot await you. Check out Gamescom.global or follow this QR code. But now it's time for 9 Rounds Rapid.
My name is Joe Plant. I'm a director, lead artist, and a dev of our game.
No mames, Saúl Hernández. Luis Saúl Hernández.
In a previous life,
Arriba Jaguares.
I was lead animator for Fatboy Slim and Iron Maiden. I have always been hugely inspired by games since I was a child. From the Amiga 500 days with developers like the Bitmap Brothers and Psygnosis, they've informed my sense of style and production from the get-go, and they've been a huge inspiration for me. The art style always comes first. I can't help myself. So I actually got the art style done first thing, kind of backwards. You're supposed to get everything blocked out and finished in that respect. So I did the art style first, and then we built the game and the mechanics around that. I've always had a very strong style, which I can't really escape. So it came out naturally. We're all hand painted, so it's kind of the hard way, but it's the fun way. So it's all designed, concepted on pencil and paper, and all the textures are made in pencil and paper. Then the 3D models are designed in 3D, obviously, and then we wrap those textures around the models in the 3D software. Then it's painted digitally on top of that. But then for the hero models, then we reflatten all that, print that out, and then rework into the original work with more ink work, and then re-wrap it, re-project it onto the
O
models.
sea, toda la dirección de arte es como los entornos, bueno, también los personajes, pero toda la dirección de arte es tal cual como cartón,
It's very fun, it's very satisfying.
cartón con marcatexto.
And the end results speak for
Bueno,
themselves,
cartón con
I'd say.
marcador.
How has my past work influenced the work in this game? I would say everything's cumulative in my career, I feel. So everything's growing from the last job and the last job. I'm educating myself constantly and teaching myself and learning. It's informed by it all, but it's evolved from it. My advice to the next generation of artists is to believe in yourself and keep on going and put in the work and just do it. And doors will open. And enjoy it, love the art, and just make it for the sake of it. If you keep on doing it enough, it will work.
And we made it to the 9 Rounds Rapid booth here on the show floor, and it's time to finally play the game. Let's go.
Yo tengo ese control, güey, mira. Es el mismo, güey.
I had so much fun playing that. That is incredibly tense and challenging, and I almost died like 50 times, but I kept going, and I killed everything I could until I couldn't. That is exactly the kind of game I love. It reminds me of Smash TV or other old school arcade games I used to play, twin stick shooters. It just feels great. The weapon upgrades are awesome. I love the art direction and the robot enemies and everything. It is
El vato aprovechó sus últimos 5 segundos para decir, ánimo, chavales.
So let's go see what the folks at Gamescom think of it.
Ánimo, morros. Los sueños sí se cumplen, échale ganas. No mames, el de Café Tacuba, güey, qué pedo.
Played through the 9 rounds.
Hay pura superestrella aquí, güey.
What do you think of the combat?
Very intuitive, very self-explanatory.
Sí, güey, a la verga, el Dr. Simi, me caga el Dr. Simi. Chinga su madre, güey.
You shoot, you kill, and you move on, and that's what I like.
Lo que
Joe, we
más
just want to give you
quiero en
this
este
certificate of
mundo
recognition. It's called Your Heartbeat Called. It's Concerned, which means it's very tense and challenging, and that really worked for me, so congrats.
Thank you so much. We very much appreciate it.
All right, before we go check out some awesome indies, here's a quick reminder of what you can expect from Gamescom 2026.
No entendí de qué va el juego por andar con mis mamadas, pero se ve que va a estar chido. Por lo menos la dirección de arte me gusta. Y el pelón se parece al actor de doblaje que debe saberse el nombre. A ver, creo que ya podemos hablar. Creo que ya podemos hablar con normalidad. Bueno, ya podemos hablar. Que chingue su madre Isra. El Isra. El del Wherever Tomorrow, güey. Ese güey. Que chingue a su madre. Ay, güey. Bueno, le voy a subir un poquito más el volumen porque ya podemos hablar bien. Una disculpa. Nos aventamos 1 hora de stream hablando bajito. Pero ya, somos libres. Antojo de una Big Mac automatizada, doctor. Automatizada.
But one thing that makes games truly unique is their ability to turn players loose in a whole self-contained microcosm they can explore on their own.
Ah, caray.
Next, we're checking out a few awesome indies that we can't wait to explore for ourselves.
Ah, caray. Uf, ah, caray. Ah, mira. No mames. Es el pueblo ondeado. No mames, el Sheamus. What? Low poly pixel stop. Son los de Coraline, no mames. ¿Qué pedo aquí con el Nezahualcóyotl Simulator? Coming September 2017. Perdón, 2026. 17. Qué pendejo. Simulador de chamba, me gusta. Ah, este juego está perro, güey. Este juego ya salió.
Now it's time to see how Ava and Marco train for the mountain in Cairn's upcoming free DLC On the Trail. That's right, it's time to climb as Marco. He isn't as legendary as Ava yet, but he offers a whole new way to play. He's a little less flexible and a
Me
bit
recuerda cuando te agarraban las Gerudo. Ándale, Simón, güey.
to reach distant holds. And it's even more impressive when a pro climber in training tops out on a project.
Cuando te torcían las Gerudo, güey.
Discover the challenges set by legendary climber Otto Mondo. More bite-sized climbs still packed with the challenges and discoveries you expect from Cairn. Get started in a climbing gym filled with technical routes. And then trek to a tropical deep water paradise.
La neta, este juego está muy chido. Lástima que no he tenido chance de probarlo. Pero he visto bastante gameplay de este juego y se ve bien perro, güey.
These new locations up the challenge while dialing down the lethality just a tad. Water hurts a lot less than stone, making deep water solo a great choice for hardcore training.
I made a splash.
However, you'll still start from the bottom if you fall into the drink. To preserve Cairn's survival challenge, we've introduced energy mode for these new climbs. You only
Las
have a certain
Gerudo
amount
o
of
las
energy to
Piratas de
reach
la
the top,
Bahía.
so be sure to spend it wisely and try not to fall too much. From perilous underhangs to the climbing gym of your dreams, On the Trail brings you more of the sweaty controller climbs you love from Cairn with exciting new twists.
Es el Dark
Marco
Souls de
and
la
three new
escalada,
climbing
capa.
locations will be waiting for you when On the Trail releases later this year.
Pues está chido. Old people, ¿qué pedo?
In a future,
Arriba de 70 años,
police
decía.
have lost all dignity. Are you an actual cop?
Sir, I'm a public safety officer. I enforce the law with kindness and vulnerability.
Where diverse youth dress up like animals.
We are the feral furries, the coolest kids in the Anthropos scene.
The fuck is this?
Government spending is out of control.
We have universal health care.
you didn't pay for it.
Darian
If
Simulator.
everything is free, well, then I'll take 10 euthanasias. In a future where was I going with that?
O sea, me imagino que debe ser como un juego en el que eres un viejo y no entiendes nada del mundo moderno.
Before you die, you have to eat a real steak.
Hell yeah!
Smoke a cigar.
Appropriate.
Drink a Coke.
Oh, I miss Coke so much.
Drive a
No
combustion
ocupo un juego para sentirme así, ya lo vivo.
into a fist fight.
Hay que hacer un juego así, güey. Y hacemos un juego que sea así, de ser viejo en el mundo moderno. Y hay que enfrentarse a... el Duskfade, güey. Mira, güey, tu juego, güey. ¿Y está chido o no? Ah, la verga, güey. Es el típico juego de la etiqueta. Hashtag comedia. Comedia muy poteada, güey. Sí, güey, muy entretenido. Está chido. ¿Tú también lo estás jugando, Rey? O nomás lo topas. Duskfade. Ajá, puro spoiler.
Welcome to System 16.
Y sin un Donald que no te cura.
Which means that in this training video,
deja al Pato Pascual en paz, güey.
everything about your new work
Ahí donde lo ves, el Pato Pascual es el mago más poderoso de Final Fantasy, güey.
is testing our new products and identifying any possible bugs. You'll be using our revolutionary geometry testing system. The bugs can be found anywhere inside, so be very observant when traversing the virtual landscapes. But thanks to the world's first fully
Vi
visualized
gameplay de Kingdom Hearts Lovers. Ahora
mannequin has a chance at success.
no los ubico, pero ya me imagino.
While System 6D is a technology company,
¿Quién diría que el Pato se pudiera sacar un Seraflayer del culo? El poder de la amistad, papito.
conditions, huh? You can look forward to free lunches. Join our friendly team. Together, we can make Geometry OS the shape of the future. All you need to do is answer the call.
Pipes.exe.
After all, we've already
O sea,
hired.
sale el Pipapunk.
Back in 2010, the release of Limbo revolutionized the narrative puzzle platformer. Since then, games like Inside, Little Nightmares, and Reanimal have explored shadowy new corners of that particular subgenre. Our next awesome indie has similar vibes, but features an extremely novel mechanic that should majorly shake up gameplay. Here's a look at 4 AM right here.
¿Quién
at
diría que el
Gamescom
Pato... Ah, yo ya lo leí. Dice, porque el resto están muy ocupados siendo edges. ¿Qué? ¿Seguimos hablando de Kingdom Hearts o de qué, güey? Ah, este juego ya lo habían anunciado. No lo había visto, creo. Y si lo vi, pues al chile no me acuerdo. Con todo respeto. Este juego será de los güeyes que hacen Limbo. Bueno, que hicieron Limbo. Porque pues es tal cual eso, ¿no? AM. Dark Zone. Los magos de Final Fantasy y de Kingdom Hearts todos son bien emos o edgys. Están más ocupados poniéndose gel.
In this dark cinematic stealth adventure, the key to staying alive is one unusual tool: the power to clone objects around you.
Están ocupados poniéndose gel y abrochándose los zipper.
From limbo and inside, but at the same time, this ability to copy and paste reality gives the player a much higher level of agency to find their own creative and unique path through the game. The name is certainly appropriate. You know that feeling of waking up at some ungodly hour, bleary-eyed and confused, and being spooked by a light passing by the window? That's pretty much the vibe of 4 a.m. Protagonist Ayla is on the run, seemingly after having escaped from some kind of experiment or human harvesting system.
Mami, ya me están llegando notificaciones de güeyes que sigo que están prendiendo stream para lo del Grand Theft Auto.
The presence of the Yellow, a mysterious evil force served by robotic headlamp-faced creatures out for blood. But perhaps it's not all bad, because the Yellow also seems to power Ayla's strange device on her back. It's this that lets her duplicate items around her, and that's the key to traveling across this
Ese es el verdadero punk, güey. Yo me pongo el sistema.
The environments are just background imagery to shuffle past on the way to the next objective, with anything interactive positioned obviously in the foreground. 4AM's 2.5D areas demand more careful exploration, because even objects far in the background are still a viable target to be copied. That crate lying forgotten in the shadows, for example, could be crucial to getting up to a high ledge. Copy it, stack it where it's needed, and Ayla's got a handy platform. As the obstacles get more daunting, so the possibilities grow, and the challenges don't have one correct solution. With a full physics engine and the ability to copy a wide range of objects and place them wherever you want, creative players can find their own unique ways to progress. Where one person builds a carefully balanced bridge of planks, another might improvise.
Bueno, la realidad es que con todo y que se haya filtrado, güey, no podría valerme más verga Grand Theft Auto, güey. En el buen sentido. O sea, como juego no me importa mucho, pero como referencia, de avance tecnológico, sí es importante ponerle atención.
Ayla's no match for hulking spider robots, so stealth and speed are key. Duplicated objects can
Porque el juego podrá no interesarme mucho en sí, pero esos güeyes siempre son el ejemplo de qué tanto se puede empujar las capacidades en el mundo del gaming, güey.
Triumphantly finding the one correct solution, Ayla is always scrambling for an improvised way through. Her wobbly constructions often collapsing behind her.
Siento yo que es un proyecto demasiado súper ambicioso y que saldrá mal en muchos modos. Bueno, o sea, eso es algo que se puede esperar de algo que tiene mucho
and studying the environment for possible tools only highlights how vast and mysterious the looming backdrop is.
Tiene mucha anticipación, que tiene demasiadas expectativas. Cuando llegas a un punto así en la historia, es muy fácil decepcionarse. Por eso yo siempre recomiendo que lo mejor que puedan hacer es cálmense un rato la cola, güey, y mejor espérate a ver qué es lo que te van a ofrecer. Porque si te pones a especular que no, es que se va a poder hacer esto y se va a ver así y tales cosas van a ser de esta manera. Y si no pasan, güey, al rato están diciendo, no mames, ni se puede hacer esto. Ya habían dicho que no sé qué y no pasó. Por eso pasa tanto ese tipo de cosas, güey. Los güeyes de Devolver Digital seguramente anuncian algo ahorita en 10 minutos en plan de me la pelan Rockstar. Ayer subieron un comunicado, güey. Estuvo bien verga, güey. Los de Devolver ayer subieron un comunicado bien chido, güey. Se pasan de verga, güey. ¿Y qué tanto se puede hacer contra un equipo? Sí, pero a ver, Rockstar para nada es ajeno a eso y nunca lo niegan. Pero ellos te venden su crunch como algo muy apasionado y comprometidos con su desarrollo. Y es el estudio del que más se sabe que existe crunch, y creo que a menos que yo recuerde, no han habido quejas como tal. O sea, no ha habido drama, no ha habido polémicas alrededor de eso. Más que la opinión pública, ¿no? Pero otros terminan con grunge para sacar juegos culeros, mínimo que tu salud mental esté relacionada con un juego histórico. Es que ese es el detalle. Yo creo que al desarrollador o al diseñador que trabaje dentro de Rockstar y esté en el proyecto de Grand Theft Auto, para ellos yo creo que si realmente son personas que se sienten identificadas o que se sienten muy atraídas al proyecto y sienten ese compromiso, pues yo creo que no sienten no tienen problemas en el crunch, ¿no? No tienen conflicto con estar sometidos al crunch.
Snowtracked, which is a simulation of you just being a kid during winter in a beautiful landscape.
Hay que ser como Dewey, nunca esperes nada de nadie porque luego... Sí, exacto, güey. Y también, o sea, tampoco se trata de ser pesimista, Tampoco se trata de aplicar la Zendaya de Spider-Man, de decir, si nunca esperas nada de nadie, nunca te decepcionas, o siempre espera lo mínimo, o siempre espera lo peor. No, se trata de no tener ninguna expectativa, güey. Se trata de no hacerte chaquetas mentales, güey. O sea, hay que estar bien aterrizado, güey. Hay que tener los pies en la tierra, de saber qué esperar de las cosas y de no hacerte ideas de más, güey. Es todo. Malo es quemarte por un juego que ni salga así, güey. Eso es lo culero. Pues sabes también qué es lo malo, güey, y que ha estado pasando en los últimos 4 o 5 años. Es quemarte tus años de vida trabajando en un juego que sí sale, que le va bien, y de todos modos tu estudio, tu empresa te decide correr, güey, porque no cumplió con las expectativas, porque no cumplió con la meta de ventas, güey. Porque no te vendió millones de dólares como lo hace Fortnite con un skin. Eso está culero, eso está todavía más culero, güey. Que tu juego sí salga, que le vaya muy bien, que gane premios, y de todos modos te corran, güey. O cierren tu estudio porque el juego no cumplió con las metas que los inversionistas tenían. Por eso cada vez hay más equipos indies. Literal los corren para poder reportar números negros y llevarse el cheque. Sí, exacto, güey. O sea, todo eso se hace por quedar bien con los inversionistas. Los trajeados han sido el peor problema que se ha enfrentado la industria del gaming en los últimos 5 o 6 años. No ha habido un año desde que terminó la pandemia, no ha habido ningún año en el que no se sepa que despidieron a la mitad de tal estudio, que cerraron tal estudio, que tuvieron que fusionar un estudio con otro, que salvaron a tal estudio porque los compró fulano y de todos modos después lo cerraron, güey. No mames, está horrible, güey. Creo que es de las peores épocas para trabajar en desarrollo de videojuegos, güey. Por la incertidumbre de si vas a tener o no trabajo.
Out of the sun, into the cold. I've arrived at the GameStop for Snowtracked, and we're gonna check out the game, see what the hype is all about.
Siempre digo, la gente debería valorar la LFT de México porque otros países... Sí, exacto, güey. O sea, podremos estar muy jodidos nosotros en muchas cosas, contrario al primer mundo. Pero hay cosas del primer mundo que no tienen y México sí. Como todo ese rollo de los derechos laborales, güey. La ley federal del trabajo, güey. Por ejemplo, los gringos no tienen aguinaldo, esos güeyes, güey. No tienen vacaciones. Bueno, sí tienen vacaciones, pero no funciona igual que con nosotros. Esos vatos tienen sus días feriados, que son como 3. Porque tal cual es como... Ah, güey, pues el 4 de julio, bueno, son más días. Pero es el 4 de julio, el Día de los Veteranos, el Día de Thanksgiving, Navidad y Año Nuevo. Y ya, güey. Esos son los días feriados que tiene Estados Unidos, güey. Y aparte tienen como, bueno, dependiendo de la empresa, tienen como 3, 4 días de enfermedad, ¿no? ¿Qué quiere decir los días de enfermedad? Que hay días que pueden pedir libres si se reportan enfermos. Y eso es todo, güey. Y aquí en México, güey, puedes gozar de incapacidad. Por enfermedad tienes derecho de 4 o 5 días, dependiendo de la gravedad, de incapacidad. Si son lesiones, puedes irte hasta más tiempo, güey, depende de lo que dicte el seguro. Tienes tu caja de ahorro, tienes tu aguinaldo, güey. Por ejemplo, aquí el rollo de la liquidación, tu finiquito, esas cosas, en Estados Unidos no existen, güey. Allá te corren y ya, güey, tu último cheque es lo último que te vamos a dar de feria, güey. Aquí no, aquí te tienen que compensar tu periodo de trabajo, güey. El 5 de mayo, no se te olvide. Creo que el 5 de mayo ellos no lo tienen libre, güey. O sea, erróneamente lo festejan, pero creo que no se los dan. Que yo sepa. Mucha gente de México tampoco. Tampoco sabe. Y por el otro lado tienes AI Slop, MF, que creen que con Cloud pueden hacer todo y los terminan corriendo también para usar la IA que ellos mismos configuraron. Sí, güey, está horrible eso. Eso se me hace lo más inhumano posible, güey. El contratar gente para entrenar IA y que después te corran, güey. Güey, no mames, es como ponte a entrenar tu reemplazo, güey. Ese pedo debe ser lo más traumante, güey. Hasta 15 días, güey. A los latinos se los dan libre. Por ejemplo, aquí el 5 de mayo en México no es feriado oficial. Yo recuerdo. O sí. Ya ni me acuerdo, güey.
All these stories made me feel like a child again. I'm glad he kept them for me. Wherever he is now.
Deck of Memories. Es el puerto. Bueno, no es un puerto, es como la bahía. Es asueto escolar nomás. Ajá. Sí, porque que yo recuerde así en laboral no implica. No aplica, perdón. Pero no sé si ya se los quitaron. Güey, pues acá. Voy a sonar bien boomer, güey. Pero pues en las escuelas cada vez les meten más pinches días libres, güey. Ayer vi una nota que decía que iba a haber quién sabe cuántos viernes libres, güey, de aquí a octubre o septiembre, güey. AGNI. Uy, no. No. Aguas. ¿Qué pedo? ¿Qué clase de control es esto? Justo iba a decir eso, qué pedo con la copia de control, güey. Sí, güey, no mames. Usual June de Fingi. ¿Qué fingiste, güey? Es como el Duskfade. Está bien que te hayas inspirado en Kingdom Hearts, pero tampoco te mames si lo copias el 90%, güey. Sí tiene un chingo de parecido, güey.
Hello and welcome to Isle Goblin, a game where you and your friends work together to fight off the nasty humans that have invaded your island.
Isla Duende.
For you, it won't be easy, so you'll need to explore for resources, fight humans, steal their strange and mysterious artifacts, and encounter terrifying bosses. Then you'll come home to rebuild your town and help out all your goblin villagers. The NPCs will have little lives and desires of their own, and you can befriend them by giving them gifts, doing tasks for them, or inviting them to come follow you around. Now speaking of friends, the game supports multiplayer with up to 7 of your real-life goblin pals. You can pillage dungeons, solve puzzles, slay humans, and raise spider babies together to your heart's content. Now I've just signed a deal with a publisher, so I was able to quit my job and now I'm working on it full time. It's progressing fast and I'm going to start public playtesting soon, so make sure.
Oye, según Rockstar sacó comunicado que sí puedes transmitir lo de GTA de Netflix sin penalización, pero se cayó Netflix. Creo que eso es algo que esperábamos todos, ¿no? Creo que cualquiera que tiene experiencia en ese tipo de cosas esperaba que se cayera en Netflix, güey.
Puzzles in haunted locations and lots more that let you dabble in building renovation and interior decoration, and even a few games that feature interactive musical numbers. But as far as we know, there's only one game that includes all the above. Here's a closer look at There Are No Ghosts at the Grand.
Sí, cuando
Awesome Indies Show.
Cuando WWE empezó a transmitir sus eventos en Netflix, el primer pay-per-view que fue el Royal Rumble, ese día, como media hora antes de empezar el evento, se cayó Netflix, güey. Y yo creo que el público de WWE ha de ser como el 15-10% de la población que le interesa Grand Theft Auto, güey.
Every room I clear, the more of the hotel I unlock, the more the house seems to be coming alive. It's almost like...
Lo que me intriga saber realmente es cuánta gente habrá pagado suscripción de Netflix nomás para ver el trailer de Grand Theft Auto, güey.
It's like it swallows people.
Es que en qué cabeza acá de pinche Netflix nunca aprenden. Son negocios, papito. Son negocios, esos güeyes les vale madre mientras caiga la feria, güey. Ya lo demás, pues lo resuelven sobre la marcha, güey.
Looks like I'm not the only one who's been here.
Aye, it's a popular wee camping spot.
Part renovation sim, part Lovecraftian mystery, part ghost hunting shooter. There are no ghosts at the Grand is overflowing with creative ideas.
O también sin irnos a ejemplos muy lejanos, güey. Cuando fue la pelea de box del
It's an adventure quite unlike anything else you'll play this year. American Chris David inherits a run.
¿Cómo se llama este güey? ¿Cómo se llama el mochorejas? El que peleó contra el hermano de Logan Paul, o era Logan Paul, no me acuerdo.
David is handed a set of high-tech decorating guns.
Pero cuando fue esa pelea de box, güey, el Tyson, ándale. Mike Tyson. Cuando fue la pelea de Mike Tyson contra el hermano de Logan Paul, o era Logan Paul, no me acuerdo. También ahí se cayó Netflix, güey.
wallpaper and new floorboards. Objects can be moved around with the furniture, which can also instantly summon up everything from beds to chairs to pianos, and the TurboVac sucks up any loose debris, from fallen leaves to bits of broken furniture, and where needed, ejects it back out again too. With such an impressive arsenal, renovation is quick and easy, especially with how forgiving the game is of the little details. It'll automatically fill in the edges of a wall once the majority of it's been painted, making for a pleasingly gentle experience that's simple, but with plenty of room for creativity.
Ah, mira, ya está. Ya está el tráiler, güey. ¿Qué pedo? ¿Lo pasamos así o qué? Ey, ¿qué pedo? ¿Por qué se oscureció mi cámara, güey?
Carefully picking over the room, searching for all the little elements that need fixing. But equally, if you're feeling less patient, each gun has a scanner that highlights objects you still need to use it on, allowing for a quick speed run through the tasks instead. There are even little puzzles to discover and solve as the decoration.
Así lo van a ver, güey.
A set of seasonal paintings, for example, offers a reward if rearranged back in the right order of spring through winter. But beyond the hotel, there are much bigger mysteries in need of investigation. Progressing through the story means meeting the colorful locals, exploring the village and nearby islands, and getting to the bottom of a supernatural mystery involving ghosts, Lovecraftian monsters,
No mames, sale 100 punk, güey.
slime.
I think I've discovered where the weird black slime on the beach is coming from. Oh, so you mean...
¿Cuánto dura este pedo? Dura 25 minutos.
And the best part, much of it is delivered in musical form. Exactly
Bueno, 26 minutos dura el tráiler.
bursting into song, we couldn't tell you, but it's a charming way to learn more about their personalities and the village's plight. Thankfully, the musical numbers don't grind the game to a halt, often accompanying the action rather than simply being a cutscene. You even get to join in certain parts, picking dialogue choices that both change the lyrics of the verses and affect how characters feel about you.
I'll do my part and unravel the strings down in the deep, deep dark.
It's not all song and laughter though, and soon things take a
O sea, si se supone, como me dijiste, Rigi, que sí puedo transmitir el tráiler sin penalización. Pero pues Netflix tiene tiene activo el HDCP. Tiene el seguro de video.
It can be genuinely unnerving despite the game's otherwise cozy feel. One sequence involves a swarm of creepy shape-shifting chairs which could change the way
Ahí cómo le hacemos.
forever. It's right about now you realize how versatile the decorating guns really are. A leaping monster can be put down with a shot from the sandblaster, while an invisible spirit needs to be sprayed with paint to be revealed, and yes, of course you can suck up ghosts with the vacuum.
Run, boy! Run! They keep coming.
They might just be the key to getting some answers too. Exploring at night reveals strange floating memories, windows into moments in the past, but they can only be accessed by making the area around them match how it used to look, so before long David is discovering classified World War II secrets and dark Lovecraftian truths by moving around furniture, cleaning up junk, and arranging books back onto their shelves. A tidy up and a fresh coat of paint really can solve any problem then, and as the game progresses, that philosophy is applied across the whole village, and you're tasked with renovating shops and residences all around.
Ya ni le estamos poniendo atención a esta madre, güey.
And everything in its place, including monsters from
No
beyond.
mames, ¿cuánto le falta a este pedo,
More
güey?
satisfying than that.
Digo, no me urge que se acabe, pero... O sea, ¿no pensaron que se iba a atravesar lo de Grand Theft Auto?
Rest in the living waters. Fear the word and rejoice with trembling. Where are we?
Uy. Being and becoming.
It is the faith that betrayed us.
Don't you know? All change is progress.
What is that? Another story ends, just as I had written it.
Two nameless aspiring martyrs, one for faith and one for mankind. Let us see whose death will do more for their convictions.
Be not afraid. I will be by your side.
Hay demo.
Every step of the way.
The retro area at Gamescom 2026 is full of nostalgia, and up next is a modern retro game that not only celebrates our love for classic gaming, but also has its own little secret. I'm heading to the Gamescom indie area to check it out, but before we get there, let's learn what this retro roguelike with a twist is all about.
Otro pinche roguelike.
I was inspired to make this game by
Ya dejen de ser roguelikes, por favor, güey.
Growing up, I had a very close friend, and the way that we bonded, the way that we shared our time together was playing video games. Every weekend we rented a game from the local Rogers Video or Video Update, and that was just what we did. It's what we talked about. It's how we built our friendship. And unfortunately, shortly after high school, this friend of mine, he passed away. He got ill. There was really not much we could do in the time that we had. And about maybe 10 years after that, I was back at my parents' house and I was going through my stuff in the garage, my old stuff, found my old video game consoles, and I started hooking them up and playing them just for old time's sake to see what I had, go down memory lane. And his save data was still in those games. So that idea of his, what I call the digital ghost, was still living in those games. And I felt that that was such a uniquely modern form of grief. So I wanted to make a game about this idea of digital ghosts and what happens when we revisit the past through the lens of these video games that we may have shared with someone who was important to us. The idea of this game is that you're actually playing someone else's copy of Dungeon Lurker. This isn't your copy, this isn't your game system, this isn't your space, but you're revisiting the memories that you shared with someone who had it. Even in ways that probably won't.
Igual se supone que va a estar disponible en YouTube 6 horas después, entonces igual y lo podemos hacer a las 6. O sea, porque realmente lo podría hacer ahorita, pero el problema es lo de la protección que tiene Netflix. O sea, no puedo capturar. O sea, sí puedo capturar Netflix, pero se va a ver negro. O sea, porque tiene protección. Entonces, en YouTube, pues no existe eso. Ahí sí podría hacer la captura sin problemas.
Magic Sword being a big influence there. But also we want players to really feel invested in the game world. Really drawn in to a point where they might even be totally taken off guard or surprised by what happens with the rest of the game. When a game has an overarching meta-narrative, sometimes the gameplay can be very simple because it's more focused on the story. And we want a game that you can really sink your teeth into. It's got pretty
no, pero a las 6 voy a estar trabajando,
methodical combat. It's a little more arcadey in its design. The story here is really what inspired it, but we're very passionate.
Pues ya ni modo, o sea, no me urge hacer contenido de eso.
On its own.
Ni modo. No se pudo. No tengo lugar en ese tema de conversación.
And he got to play the game. I think he'd enjoy it. I think he'd dig it. And I would hope and I would believe that he would appreciate it, because I mean there's a lot of stuff I didn't get to say to him.
Me gusta mucho cómo se ve este juego. Lo que no me gusta es que es un roguelike. Tengo el mismo problema que el Reyille, pero con los Metroidvanias.
Well, I've made it to Dungeon Lurker here on the Gamescom show floor, and it's finally time to play it myself. So let's do that. So yeah, Dungeon Lurker is awesome. I'm so glad I got to play it right here at Gamescom. The art direction is so cool. The combat is really fun and challenging, and it's packed with secrets that I just love. Little Easter eggs from that era. Being able to pull out and see the living room and flip through a manual that has actual handwritten notes in it just reminds me of the era of video games I grew up playing in with my friends. So it just makes me really happy that this exists. I cannot wait to play the full version of Dungeon Lurker. Well, that's what I thought of Dungeon Lurker, but let's find out what someone at Gamescom thinks about it. So Bjorn, you're playing through the Dungeon Lurker demo right here on the Gamescom show floor. What do you think of it?
Oh, it's fantastic. Like, it has really great beat-em-up influences for an action game. So enemies actually swarm you, play intelligently. I'm interested to see where this goes.
Yeah, me too. I'm a huge fan of the sort of very crunchy, grimy pixel art aesthetic. The way the camera is kind of panned out a little bit and on this angle is really smart. And yeah, all the bells and whistles kind of underneath the hood of like hopping into the manual, seeing the living room, all that stuff is such a nice touch. Also, the creature design is just amazing.
I mean, whoever came up with the idea for these arcade cabinets, like, needs to get the raise. It looks great.
Alex, thank you so much for having us here and letting us play Dungeon Lurker. It's awesome. We actually want to give you a special recognition. It's called Watch Out. This one's got a secret, and I think it has quite a few, in fact.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having us, and we can't wait to play more Dungeon Lurker. And those are just a few of our favorite awesome indies here at Gamescom, but there are so many more games here. As you can see, tons of gamers are on their way to play more awesome indies right here on the show floor.
Parece que se acabó.
Down here to Gamescom yourself and get your hands on those awesome indies.
Thank you so much for watching.
Ah, este güey tiene playera de Star Wars, güey, no había visto.
See you on the show floor. Bye.
Ahí el Java. Pues bueno, pues se acabó el Awesome Indie Show. Sigo pensando lo del GTA, güey. Pero bueno, va a tener que ser para otro. Para más tarde. Voy a pensarlo. Lo voy a meditar en el trono porque tengo que ir al baño. Y si prendo en un rato, va a ser para ver lo del GTA. Si no, pues nos vemos mañana. Nos vemos mañana para seguirle al Pragmata. Gracias por caerle a ver esta madre conmigo, muchachos. Se los agradezco. También ayer se suscribió el Kenneth, pero hoy no vino, entonces no le vamos a poner falta al güey. Y no le pusimos su alerta. Pero gracias por acompañarme. Estuvo chido que cotorráramos viendo los juegos indies. Hubo un par de juegos que sí nos llamó la atención, no lo voy a negar. Yo creo que ahí los voy a estar checando, los que tienen demo en el Steam. Pero bueno, gracias por acompañarme. Nos estamos viendo si prendo más al rato para verlo del Grand Theft Auto, pues aquí nos vemos otra vez. Si no, hasta mañana para lo de Pragmata. Tengo que resolver y ver si realmente puedo streamearlo, porque digo, si Rockstar no tiene problema de que se transmita su contenido o Netflix, pues está chido. El problema es la protección que tiene Netflix en su plataforma, que no te permite capturar video a través de software. Pero, pues bueno, gracias. Ahí nos estamos viendo al ratón vaquero o mañana. Adiósito, vámonos. Vámonos porque aquí espantan. Chao, adiós.